So, short video here on how we use the heat gun to get the old varnish off. I have just this side of the boat left to do. So we're going to take a spot about 6 inches by 4 inches, warm up the whole area first of all. Keep the whole thing warm at once. So when you start it will all come off. If you leave a little section too long it'll cool off and dry and then won't peel. Okay, so all that's now bubbling up nicely. Keep it all warm and turn that off. And I'm starting off this side. I want this so I can actually scrape the other way for the rest of the job. But we'll start it off just like that. Comes off really easily. Far easier than using chemical stripper. I've tried that before. That takes forever and does a lousy job. Alright, next section here. Warm up about 4 or 5 inches along. Keep the whole area warm. Just starting to bubble up. Heat gun off and scrape. Comes off pretty easily. So I have just this side of the boat to do today. The rest is all done. So from there to there should take a couple of hours, and that'll be almost the end of the stripping. So why am I going through all this trouble to scrape all the varnish off? This is the last section there is to do, just the starboard outside coaming. Doesn't look too bad from back here. Oh yeah, nice looking wooden boat. Nice shiny wood. But you get in close and you really start to see how the wood is not very happy at all. Along the bottom there, it's peeling and cracked, etc, etc, all the way down. Just not looking very good. Back there it's all checked, which is just even more cracks, and down the bottom there a real mess. So it was all kind of like that. This is the worst of it. The rest wasn't quite that bad. It was getting that way. Another year it would look like that. So yeah, even though it looks okay from there, or even looks very nice from 100 yards away, up close it's not good at all, and eventually the varnish will crack, water gets into your wood, stains that, fungus and rot follow, and that's the end of your boat. So best to just do it before it gets that bad. So that's why we're doing all this. Why is there duct tape running along the seams of my planks? Good question. So I took the canvas deck off, but if you look in close, there is quite a seam between the planks, and any water getting in there would end up running into the inside. You don't want fresh water in your boat. It'll find itself everywhere, again leading to rot, which is no good. So even though I have the heavy duty winter boat cover on, that's just the forward half there. The other side, the other part is kind of just on the other side of the mast now while I'm working on this side. There would still be water coming down the stanchions there, getting into the boat and running along the outer edge here. So the duct tape is just to make sure no water gets into those seams. It'll run down there and then run out that scupper, or that scupper, or that scupper, rather than running down the cracks in the seams and into the boat. And the ladder here does have a gap right in there, so water can run behind it to get out of that scupper. So duct tape being used by wooden boat sailors for centuries, millennia even. There are hieroglyphs of Egyptians unrolling their rolls of duct tape to patch up their boats. Okay, I'm lying now. But duct tape, another use for it. Okay, we're finished scraping here. It's just 1:15. I started about 11, so just under 2 hours, and that included a couple of coffee breaks and chatting with the neighbors. Maybe I should explain how this job has expanded. I started off just wanting to clean the refinish the rub rail here. That's the outside bit. Here is the rub rail. That's the tow rail, so you catch your toes on that side so you don't fall overboard. The rub rail there, so if you're against a bare dock and your fenders fail, then you're rubbing away that rather than the actual hull. So that was the first job. Then while doing that, I noticed that the deck canvas was failing. There was water damage underneath. Around the edges it was peeling and stained, so I ended up ripping all of the deck canvas off except at the very back there, where it's actually been attached with some pretty strong chemical putty goop. So that section's actually okay, the rest was pretty bad. And then I'm thinking, well, you really have to finish off all the things the deck is going to touch before you finish the deck, so that meant redoing the whole cabin top there as well, and the cockpit coaming. So yeah, the job's expanding, but I've got time to do this. By the end of the summer we should have a really beautiful finished boat. Rub rail, tow rail, deck, and the cabin housing. I'll save the hatch there for another year, and the actual cockpit itself, that can wait a year or two as well. There's other little bits and pieces. The rudder needs redoing all the way down. Very, very old paint on that. And on it goes, but that's the point. Something to do. Keep busy, make something beautiful. Something I'll enjoy for the next 10 or 20 years. Oh, the ladder here, I left that there because I'll still be taking the boat out even as I'm working on it, and I may need to get back on board if I do fall over the side, so I'm leaving that there till the very end, and I'll take it out and strip and paint all around it, which I haven't got to yet because it's been in the way. Alright, back in a week from Sydney Spit and I can finally start on the sanding.